This is a review of the 3-piece Kobalt chisel set that includes a half-inch chisel, 3/4 inch chisel, and a full-inch chisel. And they have these nice size grips for good leverage. And it appears, I couldn't really tell with them in the package, but it appears like they're already pre-sharpened, or they'd be sharp enough to work out of the package. I purchased this originally to work on this rough draft of a chessboard I'm working. I'm planning on making a better one out of the wood that's actually colored as opposed to staining. But when I stained this, regardless of how careful I was, the dark stain and the light stain for that matter followed the fibers into the next square of wood over. So my thought is I'm going to take the smaller chisel and chisel down the light brown stain to eliminate it, and then also give it a little bit of a relief, so it's like a 3D chessboard. So that is the purpose of these chisels. So hopefully these tools will fix my screw up and my education that I just had on staining. So let's give it a try. And I can already tell you this is going to be a pain in the butt to open. I think maybe if I pry it here. Make sure I'm back in frame. And each one of these was anywhere from $8 to $11 a piece, and the total set was $19.99 or $19.98. So you save a little bit of money by going with all three. I envision only needing the smaller one for now, but there's plenty of projects around the house where I could use another one of another size. So it's definitely pretty sharp. I will probably have to practice this here a lot before I actually work on the end piece. Alright, so keep in mind you're getting this review from someone that's never used a chisel before. I found out the problem was less so the chisel and more so that I wasn't holding down the actual piece of wood. So I'm going to get started on the final piece with some clamps to hold the actual wood in place. Okay, so I use these, well really I only use this chisel, but they're all of equivalent quality, they're just different sizes. I had a lot of success after I learned how to use them, less so I think an issue with the actual quality than just user error. Really like the big handles and this metal cap here. I was using that to hammer down to kind of create a line into which I was going to ultimately chisel. And if you saw the before shot of the chessboard, you know that the dark stain was seeping into the light stain. So use the chisel and clean that up with pretty good success. This wood was an old 2x4, so there was a lot of knots that made it kind of difficult for clean chiseling. I think that could have been resolved, one, if I was a little bit better at using this, but also if this was slightly sharper out of the box. So I'll have to look into how to get this sharpened if I need more finer chisel marks in the future. The other thing I would change about this, if possible, would be to lower the profile on the bottom of the chisel, because a lot of times when I was far out onto the board, the profile of the chisel would require me to take a pretty steep angle, in which case I was taking out a little more wood than I would have liked. If I could have gotten closer to the board, it probably would have been a little bit better off. But I don't even know if that is a product feature that any chisel has. So I say all in all, I was pretty happy with the Kobalt chisel. Like I said, I only used one of the three, but I assumed I would need the other for some projects, and I saved probably $8 to $12 by buying all three at once. So overall, pretty happy with it. Would definitely recommend the purchase. Only tweaks would be maybe to get them a little bit sharper and have a slightly lower profile on the side that is the non-cutting side, so you can get closer to the workpiece. So if you can find chisels that have that, maybe worthwhile to look into them. Thanks a lot for watching.